Ever get the feeling lawmakers were just bored one day? From chewing gum bans to spiritual red tape, the world is full of laws that sound made up, but are 100% real. Today on Top 8, we're diving into the strangest, most head-scratching legal rules that still exist across the globe. And trust us, by the time you hit number 1, you'll be checking your own local laws just to be sure. Let's jump into it. At number 8, chewing gum is banned in Singapore. Singapore isn't messing around when it comes to cleanliness. Back in 1992, the country put a hard stop to chewing gum sales and imports. Not because they hate fun, but because people kept sticking gum everywhere. Train doors, sidewalks, elevator buttons. It became such a nuisance that the government decided the only solution was to ban it entirely. The rule was passed as part of a larger campaign to turn Singapore into a model of modern urban order, and it worked. The country is now known for its spotless public spaces and strict but effective policies. If you're caught bringing gum into the country or chewing it in public without a prescription, you could face fines of up to $1,000 for first-time offenses, and that's no exaggeration. But here's a twist. In 2004, after lobbying by the US of all things, Singapore loosened the law slightly to allow medicinal or nicotine gum, but only through a pharmacist, and even then your ID gets logged. So yeah, keep your bubblegum dreams in check. Next up, number 7. You can't own just one guinea pig in Switzerland. This one sounds cute, but it's actually very serious. In Switzerland, it's illegal to own a single guinea pig. The country considers guinea pigs social animals, meaning they thrive only when living with others of their kind. So owning just one is seen as a form of neglect. The law is part of Switzerland's larger effort to treat animal welfare with the same seriousness as human rights. And it doesn't stop with guinea pigs. Similar protections exist for parrots, rabbits, and even goldfish. For guinea pigs specifically, the government even supports a guinea pig matchmaking service where you can rent a second guinea pig if yours dies, so the remaining one doesn't live in loneliness. It might sound absurd to some, but Switzerland is leading the way in redefining how animals are treated. And honestly, more power to them. Coming in at number 6, it's illegal to wear high heels at ancient sites in Greece. So you're in Athens, dressed to impress, ready to strut through history, only to find out that your heels are a no-go. Since 2009, Greece has banned high heels at many ancient ruins, including the Acropolis. Why? Because stilettos and historic marble don't mix. The sharp pressure points from narrow heels can chip and damage surfaces that are thousands of years old. The Greek Ministry of Culture made the rule to preserve their irreplaceable sites from long-term harm. And, it's not just heels either. Eating, drinking, or even using selfie sticks in certain areas is also discouraged. So if you're planning a visit, maybe swap the pumps for something flat and comfy. You'll thank yourself after the 6th flight of ancient stone stairs anyway. Number 5. No reincarnation without government permission in China. This might sound like satire, but it's an actual policy. In 2007, the Chinese government issued Order Number 5, a law requiring all Tibetan Buddhist monks to seek permission from the government before they can reincarnate. Yes, reincarnate. It's a direct challenge to the Tibetan religious hierarchy, particularly the Dalai Lama, who traditionally chooses his successor through spiritual signs of reincarnation. The rule essentially gives the Chinese Communist Party control over who becomes the next spiritual leader. The law is part of a broader political effort to suppress Tibetan autonomy and religious influence. Critics call it an absurd overreach, like trying to file taxes with the afterlife. But the law remains on the books, with very real consequences for Tibetan Buddhists inside China. It's the ultimate case of government overstepping into the spiritual realm. Sliding into number 4, it's illegal to run out of gas on the Autobahn in Germany. The Autobahn is famous for its no speed limit zones, where sports cars and trucks alike blast down the highway at breakneck speeds. But while speed isn't limited, stopping is, especially if you run out of gas. German law considers this a form of negligence. Drivers are expected to plan ahead and fuel up before hitting long highway stretches. Running out of gas isn't treated as an accident. It's viewed as a preventable error that endangers other drivers. And if you think you'll just walk to the nearest station, think again. Pedestrians are also banned on the Autobahn, meaning leaving your car is another fine in the making. So before you hit the road, maybe double-check the tank. That Porsche behind you isn't slowing down. Now at number 3, it's against the law to die in Longyearbyen, Norway. This Arctic town isn't just cold, it's legally designed to avoid death. Longyearbyen, located on the island of Svalbard, has banned burials since the 1950s. The permafrost is so deep and constant that bodies don't decompose. In fact, some are so well preserved that scientists found live traces of the 1918 Spanish flu virus in corpses buried there. Because of this, people who are terminally ill or very elderly are flown to the mainland of Norway for end-of-life care. There are no funeral homes in Longyearbyen and no cremation services. Even dying requires travel planning. It might sound extreme, but it's actually about public health and environmental conditions. In a town where polar bears outnumber people, avoiding zombies is just another day's work. Next up, number 2. In Italy, it's actually illegal to build sandcastles in some regions. This one really hits childhood nostalgia hard. Several beach towns in Italy, like Eraclea and parts of Sardinia, have passed laws banning sandcastles, citing reasons like blocking public walkways, disturbing wildlife, and even something called aesthetic pollution. You could actually be fined for building something as innocent as a drip tower. Lifeguards and police have the authority to shut down enthusiastic sand sculptors. In some areas, even digging a hole too deep in the sand can lead to penalties. Not every beach is affected, and locals don't always enforce it strictly. But it's still a thing. So next time you're packing a beach bucket in Italy, maybe keep it chill. And finally at number 1, in Denmark, it's illegal to start your car if there's someone under it. It kinda sounds like a bizarrely obvious law, but there's a reason for it. Denmark passed this law to protect small animals and stray cats, which often curl up underneath cars during cold months to stay warm. Drivers are legally required to check beneath their car before starting the engine. The law is mostly followed through public awareness campaigns, but it remains an enforceable statute in many municipalities. It might sound ridiculous, but when you consider the safety of animals, and even children playing near cars, it suddenly doesn't feel that crazy. Denmark's just being thorough. Some are thoughtful, some are outdated, and yeah, some are just flat out bizarre. But they all go to show. When it comes to laws, the real world is often weirder than fiction. Want more lists that surprise, confuse, or blow your mind? Hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, and keep it locked here on Top 8, where we turn the strange into straight-up entertaining.